Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Sharon and today's video is going to cover my week 4 check-in for the month of April. The planner that I'm using is the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly in the 7x9 size. So if you're interested, I have a link down below for $10 off your first order if you're interested. This is my monthly view and this is just a compliment card which I use as my legend. It's also from Erin Condren. And it has my color codes for my expense stickers, which I also offer in my shop on Etsy. So if you want to check my shop out, there'll be a link for it down in the description box as well. But here's my colors that I use for my expenses. I normally lay my stickers down, as you can see in my monthly view, to track my expenses by day. I like to break my month down into 4 weeks so that I have space for a result, so I can total up my monthly results when I weekly check in. So here's my weekly check-in, and I normally check in for personal, groceries, gas, and unbudgeted. I do combine some of my cash envelopes because I do use the cash envelope budgeting method. For personal, I combine my allowance as well as my grooming cash envelopes. I use my groceries category for groceries as well as eating out. Gas is strictly just for gas, and unbudgeted, which I do not budget any amount for. I use that for anything that may come up that I wasn't planning to spend money on throughout the month. I'm just going to flip back to my monthly view. I already have my expense stickers written out. So I did have a few expenses over the last week. Starting with the 25th, I went to Rita's, which is a little like icy type shop. I took the kids there just to get out and let them get some fresh air since they haven't been out since I've been working from home and they're home from school. I just wanted to get them out for a nice walk, and then we went to Rita's and we also went to our favorite Chick-fil-A. And since we had already spent our eating out money, I just went ahead and used my allowance to pay for these items, which I didn't mind because I did pretty well this month and I didn't spend any of my allowance until this past weekend. I also had an unbudgeted expense, but this was for good reason, so I'm not upset about it in any way. We actually donated some items for care packages that were being put together by my husband's department at work for elderly people within the surrounding area and where he works. So they put together about 200 care packages for the elderly, and they also put together 50 to 100 care packages for families. So I was very interested in participating in that, and so we did contribute as well. And so this was the 27th. I spent $108 at Costco. And then I also went to Giant, which is another supermarket in my area, to pick up a few more things as well. And it was a combined effort. So we were really happy to give our contribution, because it is a great cause, because people do need that in this time. They need to know that somebody cares. So that was all the expenses that I had for week 4. So I'm just going to flip back to my weekly view, and I'm going to quickly write down my categories. Okay, so I have my categories written down. I just took the liberty of going ahead and writing it down for the results portion as well. So I'm just going to go back to my monthly view, and I'm just going to total up for my personal category. I spent a total of $31, so 22 on Chick-fil-A and 9 on Rita's. So I'm just going to mark those off. And as you know from last week, I still had my whole entire $100 for my allowance. So I spent a total of $31. And as of last week, I had $515 in this category. For my allowance cash envelope, I still have 20, 40, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, $69 left. And for my grooming cash envelope, I still have $415 because, as I explained previously, there's nothing open, so I can't get any hair done, eyebrows or anything. So this envelope has been building up quite a bit. So I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 5, 10, 15. So in total, I have remaining $484 in my personal category between both my personal and grooming cash envelopes. For groceries, this was zero because I had nothing left over after last week. So I'm just gonna line that out. For gas, I had no expenses. So I'm just going to bring down the remaining balance of $137, and I'll just carry that over into next month. So what I will do is I just won't allocate as much. I'll just keep decreasing the amount that I allocate toward gas. But I still do want to keep enough in that fund, so if in fact we do have to start going back to work or what have you, I'll still have money in my gas fund. For unbudgeted, I did have 2 unbudgeted expenses. It's a total of $143 between the 2 purchases. So I don't budget anything for that, so I'm just going to line that out as well. So this is what I look like after my week 4 check-in. Not too bad. I wasn't expecting to spend anything for unbudgeted, but I'm not mad at all that we did spend something. I appreciate the fact that we were able to help. So for my results, for total amount spent for personal was $31 between personal and grooming. For groceries and eating out, I spent a total of $500 on groceries. For gas, I spent a total of $30. And unbudgeted, I spent a total of $143. And for remaining, I'm just gonna bring my remaining numbers down. So this is what I'm looking like. I'm not at all upset about the way the month turned out. I think that it turned out fairly well considering it could be worse. It has been in other months, so I'm proud of the short-term gains if that's the case, but I'm hoping that I can continue to make strides. So that's my weekly check-in. I also want to check off my life insurance because that was paid as well. And then I also had an expenditure out of my sinking funds for gifts. I did spend the entire $340 that was in there. And so that's why I didn't use my gifts category for the items that we donated for the care packages. I just went ahead and did an unbudgeted expense because I had already used that for a birthday gift. Next, I want to choose my number for week 17 for my 52-week challenge. If you're new to my channel, then I am currently doing a 52-week challenge where I save a specific amount for 52 weeks, but in order to just make it a little more fun, I decided to choose numbers at random during my weekly check-ins, and I'll add those numbers up at the end of the month, which I'll do today, and then that'll be the amount that I put into my 52-week challenge for that particular month. I keep the numbers in this mason jar, and all the numbers that I've previously chosen are in this bag just to make sure that they don't mix. So I'll just set that to the side. And every week I give this a little shake just to get the numbers nice and mixed. And I'll choose my week 17 number. So for week 17, the number is 40. So in order to keep track, I use a highlighter, and then on my little chart, I will highlight the number 40, so I know that this has already been chosen. If I just want to keep track at a glance, I'm going to also take this number and put it in the bag so that I don't accidentally mix it in the event I want to use these again to do this or a similar challenge in the future. So I'm just going to set that to the side. And then I'm going to go back to my monthly view. And in the corner here on my notes, I keep track of the weeks, what numbers I pulled. So that's an additional $40 added. So right now I have $151. And I'm just going to check that just to make sure my math is correct. So it's 46 plus, I chose 46 in week 14. I chose 14 in week 15. I chose 51 in week 16 and 40 for week 17. That's $151. Okay. That's all I have for my week 4 check-in. So if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're budgeting during the COVID-19 pandemic, and let me know if there's any tips that you can give me as I move forward. But I'm very optimistic about everything, and I believe that we're going to get through this. I just want to say thank you again for coming back to my channel, and I hope to see you again on my next one. Bye now.